Welcome Transformers fans, my name is Composite EnerJoe and today I will be bringing you my review of the Transformers Titans Return Deluxe class Highbrow. And here he is in his either Cybertronian or futuristic or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to say Cybertronian. His Cybertronian twin propeller helicopter mode. And here it is. With nice amount of detail, and yes, if you can see inside the cockpit, there's his headmaster, which I'll show in a minute, and he has a nice amount of detail. Although he is pretty much, yeah, you can kind of see the robot mode arms there. Yeah, and as you can tell, both propellers can spin freely. However, if you try and spin them together, they may occasionally hit each other. Like bump into each other with the wobbliness, but it's still pretty cool. You don't really see twin propeller helicopters like this too often, because usually when you see two propellers, it's usually it should at least be a vtol, but this is cool. And nice amounts of details, like a gun there, and the well, might as well show them off. You can open up the cockpit. Open up the cockpit. And there is his headmaster. This is Zort. And that's a X-O-R-T, Zort. His nice head. I like that they painted his visor. Arms are on a ball joint and legs do move like all other Titan Masters or Headmasters. So let's put him off to the side. And here is the weapons that come with Highbrow here. And you can actually plug this in a number of ways. You can plug this here on the sides, here. And you have some machine guns right there. What I like to do is put them like this, because I think it actually looks a little better. Having the machine guns be like this. Something like that. Or where I think is ideal is right there underneath the, like at the base of the wing. There. This is more or less how I have the weapons in his vehicle mode. It's right there, and they look pretty cool. Plus, these are also one of those that combine together to form the Titan Master gun or Headmaster gun or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the Headmaster gun. Where you just slide them in with those grooves and slides. And then the headmaster, you just, well, there's our pegs in there for his feet, so you can peg them in. And just have him be sitting. And there. Oops. And there. It's really silly. I'm not a big fan of these headmaster guns, because I think most of them, like so far, I think the ones that I've seen, I always find pretty silly. So you have this, you can sort of like, those has like wheels. It has wheels, which I don't know why, because the wheels don't look good on the vehicle mode. So you just drive on it. So it is a bit silly. So let's take them off. Arms to the side and put them there. Let me separate this. And in combined mode, you can peg it into any of the ports, but it looks really weird in its combined mode. In the combined Titan Master Headmaster gun. So put this off to the side and let's get on with transformation, which is pretty simple. First, just come here, separate what will be his arms. You also careful with these propellers. They kind of get in the way sometimes. So then you take this assembly, this entire cockpit, and fold it back. And then hit forward, come over here, separate the legs, and sort of accordion them out. Oh, and while back here, there actually is something here, so you have to like angle it, because there's a clip that you put here for the vehicle mode. So then accordion them down, rotate them forward, and then push this entire assembly in. Yeah, it sort of telescopes out. So put that in. Come down here to flip out the heels, and come in here and flip out the hands. And I do have a couple of complaints with this figure. And that's pretty much it. The other steps is that you come into this chest and push out the panel, and then you just transform Zort into Highbrow's head, and here he is. And it's a pretty nicely detailed head, nicely detailed, very G1 inspired, and fairly accurate to the G1 character, figure, whatever. Yeah, to the G1 character. And then, like all of them, just plug them in here. Plug them in there, and that's it. This is Highbrow. Pretty nice. Pretty nice, I gotta say. I like him. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool figure. With the complaints that I have are that these hands, it's weird, but they didn't put like a little bit more plastic here to stop it from doing that, because the hands can do this. He has like the extra bit of space so that you can do this, and I find that's kind of weird. And I would have preferred if this little gap was filled in so that it just stops here instead of having the annoyance of pushing all the way back. It gets pretty annoying when he's holding his weapons, which I'm just gonna show you right now, where you're trying to manipulate with his weapons and it just does that. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Kind of wish they would have fixed that, but he still looks pretty cool. The other thing that's kind of annoying is that the propellers are just, you can tell they're just sitting there. And they do kind of get in the way when you're manipulating him, when you try and move them, since they are attached to the arms. I would have liked it if they like folded in or collapsed in or something to store away. Because as is, they do get in the way if you're not careful. So if you're not careful, this may get stuck. You're trying to move them. You're trying, like, let's say it gets stuck like this or something, you're trying to move it, and you might accidentally, like, snap off the propeller or something. Thankfully, they're made of pretty bendy and sturdy plastic, so I doubt that's gonna happen. So let's get on with articulation. Arms, as I said, you have to be careful with the propellers, but your arms can go that far. They are on some ball joints. The head, like all the headmasters are ball joints. Are on ball joints. Legs are on really soft ratchets, but they are on ratchets. Can do a really nice kick. Nice universe. I believe this is supposed to be called like a universal joint. He has a very nice knee because of how he transforms, so he can do a lot of knee poses. Has a rotation there, and the arm rotates there. It has an elbow, and like I showed before, the hand can go side in and out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As a figure, outside of the two complaints that I had, that these can kind of get in the way when moving them, and the hands, since doing that, can get the weapon stuck, and just makes his hand look kind of weird because of that. Because at least on mine it is pretty loose, and I would have preferred if it had a bit of plastic there to stop the hand, so that it doesn't go, all the way there. But outside of those two complaints, he's a pretty solid figure. I do like him. Yeah, I even like his twin machine guns. Highbrow is a pretty nice, solid figure. Recommend him. Yeah, I do recommend him. He's nice and solid. There are others out there that are a little better, but for what he is, he's not bad. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. There's a little bit of plastic. He does have landing gear in his vehicle mode, but the fact that this is his only one, it makes it looks really weird, because then you'd have the helicopter, instead of being flat on all of the landing gears, like angled, which is kind of weird, kind of like an old airplane, where it would always be angled. That's what the landing gear does with this vehicle mode. So it just looks weird. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, he does have one landing gear under the cockpit, and that's pretty much it. Overall, I like the figure. It's really nice. For a couple facts, as far as I know, he was never really repainted. He is, however, a very, very extensive retool of the Titan's Return Scourge, which I find really interesting, and I pretty much notice it in the legs and the sort of chest design, but everything else was pretty much completely changed. Kind of like how he pretty much had a shell around his back that would turn into his vehicle mode. So yeah, overall, it's a nice, solid figure. Do recommend having him. I said, big issue is that these propellers, as in my biggest problem is that these propellers can get in the way when manipulating them. And that these hands, wish there was a piece of plastic that would prevent them from doing that. Because that kind of gets annoying when you're moving him too. Yeah, other than that, it's a nice solid figure. So yeah, this has been my review of the Transformers Titans Return Deluxe Class Highbrow with Zord, I guess. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.